Okay, we're half past to make a start. Well, good evening, Council. First of all, Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank you.
Excuse the voice. So you've got, well, we can sort of swap them together because we've got, due to the Christmas timing, because some of the papers hadn't come out from district until after Christmas and some had, but that's okay. Hopefully everybody's managed to get the minutes that we got sent out and seen them. So, do we have any, and there are no members of the public here, so won't go through all that spiel. First of all, do we have any apologies?
No,
We don't. Obviously we don't, because everybody's here. Thank you. Do we have any declarations of interest?
Only a tiny one for me, which is on the back of last page on the tree works.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Which ones does that relate to?
Oh, you are the applicant.
Oh, right, okay, that's right.
Tiny declaration.
That's right. I think we only know.
Yeah, but we like trees in Hoppenham.
We only know them.
That's fine, I will
That's fine.
anyway.
So because, but so we was asked before that. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
So moving on, we have them. You've now received the minutes. I hope people have and maybe had a chance to look at them from our last meeting, which was on the 17th of December. Are you all really happy that I signed those as the true record?
Can you just correct the spelling of my surname on the front page?
Oh, Lord, yes.
If that's all right.
You could correct it just on here, Rosemary, before you sign.
Oh, no, well, hang on, that's funny because, oh no, it isn't right on this one either. No, it's not. Just signed on the wrong line. Oh no. 7th today.
Yes, 7th of January.
I'll remember to put the right year in. Thank you. Okay, and then going then to item 4, public questions in accordance with standing orders 22-23. Have we received any?
No, none of them received.
Have we received any letters of objection?
We haven't.
No.
No?
In that case, we'll move on to the main bit of the evening, at 6, which is the applications registered the week ending 31st of December, 20th of December and 27th of December. If we start with the first ones, are the ones that were tabled before Christmas. So
No, sorry, the first one is actually agenda item 6.
oh, so they are. Try agenda item 6. Well, they are the ones
Page
that
1, yeah.
where it does before Christmas. First item is 5/19/3059.
So 32 Dalkeith Road.
Yes, 32
Yeah.
Dalkeith Road. Do the members want to look at the plans, or
You happy with my
are you happy
suggestion?
with the suggestion? Yes. Okay, then we will just. Right, thank you. 5/19/3069, which is 29 West Way, doesn't seem to be a very major change. I think it's just the additional window, which is Velux, and the window over the dining area has been enlarged. I don't think it causes any, it's not likely to cause any additional
I think it's just
misuse, is it?
it's sort of a box ticking exercise just to ensure that they're compliant with the building ones that they've done.
Yes, are people happy with that? Yes, thank you. 5193073, 188 Station Road does not meet criteria for consideration by the committee. Are we all in agreement with that? Yes, thank you. And similarly, 5193092, 48 Lower Luton Road is a certificate of lawfulness, so we don't need to look at that. 5192910, 27 Roundwood Park. Again, would members like to see this? Yes, we'd like to see the plans. Yes, we'd like to see this one, thank you. I'm sorry, can everybody hear me, by the way? Because I'm a bit stuffed up. Can you? All right, yes, I'm sorry, my voice is, I think, a bit muffled.
Right, okay, so that is the proposed. Those are the existing. There's some additional proposed here as well, actually, which shows the block plan, which details where the location of the new garage is going to be and the location of the extension.
Okay. So, existing. Proposed, is it?
Yeah.
Double garage,
Two and one there.
spaces on your side.
Don't get the Google Maps.
I see the double garage.
Yes, that's one of the things I was going to raise. It's so that they had an objection to it.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Yeah. And one of them was the street scene, and the other one was the Velux window. Would it be overlooking?
Okay.
Is that top one? Oh no, it's the roof. It might intrude the front.
This is the house here, isn't it?
Does it look like it?
Lovely.
It's quite a mixed street scene, isn't it?
Is that it, or is that the next
It's
one?
it's one where round the schools on
Yeah.
that.
Park
is mixed.
Just double check.
the right house?
The,
We'll look at the original.
the site, just from the site location, just so that I can be sure I've selected the right.
Yes, because I'm not sure that's not the other side of the road, that one, I'm not sure.
27. Does that 30? Is that correct?
Yes, that's what I was just saying. I
It's
think
almost
that's the
correct.
other side of the road, actually.
No, I
Is it-
think
that is
that's
right,
that
is
is
it?
right.
That is
yeah.
right, is
That's
it?
the picture of the house there.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It is.
It-
Okay,
It looks
It does match the current
Yeah.
drawing.
yes.
The Google Maps where it thinks the number is, it's all about 8 houses away from where it actually.
Where it actually is.
Is it filling more of its plot now? Because I guess there's a bit of space down the side, isn't there, where there's not.
It is marginally, but I
Didn't
think
look too much
if you
different.
look at there's the drawing which has got the block plan on it, which shows the hatched area as to where the extensions are going to be, and the location, I think, is the one that Paul's got just there.
So it's the house with the car on the drive.
It is,
Yeah.
yes, one
So-
with the black car.
I'm not entirely sure.
The garage that they were complaining about.
Let's look. There wasn't an objection when I looked at it before Christmas. so,
I do.
Strikes me that the street scene is already fairly.
If you walk up and down, the street scene is very mixed.
It's very mixed.
mixed.
And it's also, I mean, it's set well back from the street
Yeah.
on a biggish plot.
It's also already quite different to the neighbouring house, so
Well, yes.
one would argue that it can't be much more different in terms of the street.
Okay, There's a view window planned on the side elevation overlooking our property within the new roof. Difficult to tell whether this would mean our garden would be overlooked. Generally, Velux windows are flush to the roof.
Yeah.
So you,
Yeah, I mean, that's the point, there's the point with a Velux window, that you can't actually look out
out
of
of
them.
them, I think there's more
They're
for
angles,
incoming
aren't
light
they?
and for ventilation, aren't
Yeah.
they?
You've got a side view or a top view.
I mean, I don't think, so being able to look over your garden is not necessarily going to be,
So that's obscure for those ones.
there's not going to be necessarily a legitimate planning reason not to.
It's a loss of amenity, one could argue.
Most of the Velux windows, so you'd be,
Yeah.
I mean, they're
You
at
could
an
argue
angle like
about-
that, so that you don't see out of them.
Yeah.
And they want, and there are two things about the garage, and then there's also the bit about another window. Is it there or isn't it?
Window and floor plan, side wall of bedroom 3.
Well, we could always
Can you
come
see,
round.
can you see on there? Side wall of bedroom 3 on the on the plan.
What am I looking for? Sorry,
A window.
on the bedroom through.
I think
There's a marking on the plans for the
I
same
think
side
it's that
elevation
one.
that appears to be a window on the
Does it
floor
say on the
there.
plans there, bedroom 3,
Well,
bedroom...
The bedroom 4 is here.
So have a look on the bottom left of that paper, it should say bedroom 3.
Bedroom 3 is here.
Does it have a window?
It has a very small window, yes. Which I think is that one.
We can always sort of colour our options by saying no objection, providing there is no loss of amenity
Yeah.
to adjoining properties.
Yeah.
It's always a sort of. I can't. Given the size of the plot and it looks like it probably is okay.
Do we think the garage is all right?
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the, I haven't got a I can see where, here it is here. It's a like a properly built garage. It is at a funny angle here, because if you went back to the road view,
There is it's
where
a real
that car, the garage is going to go roughly where that car is.
It's going to go level with the house.
I think it's in line with the
You know,
neighbouring
it's going slightly
building
further back
line.
than that, yeah. Slightly further back behind that car. I can't see it really affects
Because
the
in the
next door
street,
great
Well,
deal.
not if it's in line with the building line, it won't.
Yeah.
there are other, I mean the precedent has been set, but there are other detached garages
Forward forward of the house.
that, yes,
Yeah.
I know for sure because I mean I've drive down.
But it's flush with the adjoining house.
Yeah. You wouldn't be able to see it if you were in the adjoining house.
No.
And when they describe it as unattractive, it looks from this drawing like, it's not sort of shack that's been thrown up. It looks a properly built garage with a proper roof on it and everything, tile roof. So it doesn't look, I mean,
When I put
I mean,
That one is a rather
Yeah.
substantial detached. There's another one there which is a bit more of a longer standing
yeah.
one, I think, it's been there a while. I know there's certainly a few.
I mean, garages aren't the most attractive things,
No.
but
But I can't see, looking at the plans on this one, I couldn't see that it was going to be forward of the building line, not of the adjacent property.
It isn't, and I think
No.
that's the key point.
Which I think is the key thing, because you're not going to be sitting there able to look out at it.
Because you won't be able to see it out of the front door of that other house, so,
and it's a fairly standard design of a
yeah.
garage.
I mean, I-
it wasn't it?
Yeah.
As I say, I thought it was all right, but I'm quite happy if members agree that we could say, just put in the wording about subject to no loss of amenity,
Yeah.
or something like that, which you can always put in, just
Do
as a...
that or not.
So, no, it can't really... Well, it can just get, when the officers look at it, it can just bring to their attention that they do double check things like the window.
Okay. I mean, is it worth saying loss of amenity due to overlooking from the windows? I don't know. To point them in the direction almost, so I... No?
They double check it.
They double check. I think they should really automatically check the window lines. They should really check that.
And also they'll look at the
Because
objection.
there are rules on the angle.
Yeah, they'll look at the...
Yes, and they'll look at the objection. Anybody else want to add any comments?
The only odd thing to me is where they're going to build that garage is actually going to block the view out of their own ground floor window into the back of a garage, but it's their view, so...
Any other
No, I'm fine with that. I mean, yeah, there are certain elements of the objection that are a little bit inconsistent, because
Yes.
start off with slight concerns and then there's immense distress.
Yes.
I don't try to, it's like I can't quite see, and therefore the whole thing is a bit imprecise because it's an unattractive garage, and I don't know why what is attractive to one person is unattractive to another. I mean, and yes, you can talk about coming in front of the sight line, but you can't, it's not, I don't think when you buy that house you can say they can't put something that I don't particularly like in their garden. What if they put a plant up there you didn't like the colour of? I mean, I don't mean trying to be too flippant, but there is an element where this seems a bit...
Yeah, when you get that quite
a
often,
bit
yes.
spurious.
But I think, yes, I think...
So I do think putting a comment in about the, I think the concern about the overlook is reasonable given the fact there's absolutely sort of no real reason. They've got options not to overlook.
Yes. I mean, I don't think they should do, but I don't think there's any harm in just putting it to cover ourselves. Okay, we all agree on that? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and these coming back.
Right. Okay, so, yes, moving on. 3051, 10 Churchfield. Clearly, I think they're fairly minor changes. An additional dormer to the front and an adoption of a Juliet balcony to a window to the rear. But since it's a Juliet balcony, there won't be able to actually get out of it. I don't.
So we're smiling because last time there was a lot of Juliet
Yeah.
balconies, and we're discussing about they're obviously the in thing at the moment.
Oh, but over the years, I don't know how many Juliet balconies come and walk past the planning committee.
Someone in Hartlepool has bought some shares in
It
Juliet
just
Balcony.
depends on the context of where they put them. They're more of a problem in the front of the building.
Yeah, yeah,
At the back.
yeah. No, I
So,
agree.
are we okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. 5193090, 15 Townsend Road. So there's one, shall we just quickly pull this up to have a look at the thinking of it, but I think it should be all right because it's, they're not actually adding to the rooms, are they? They're just making them bigger, and it's got plenty of frontage, so I think we'll just have a look and check. But I think although they're losing a garage, they have got sufficient parking
Yeah.
on the front, which I think is the main thing.
Well, this is the annoying one, which is one of the trees.
No.
Oh, yes,
Should we look at this?
yes, that's right.
I'm not cutting
I
any
think
trees
it's this one
down.
here, from memory.
Yes, that's right.
Close it for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Class as well.
Quite nice approach, that.
They're not losing the tree, are they? No.
I was about to say, about my ignorance, what is a sun pipe?
A sun pipe is essentially a big tube that goes through almost the centre of the house to generate light in that area of the house.
So does it,
Come back
is
through
it
the...
concaved or something like that, so that it
I don't know,
spreads the
to
light?
be honest.
I've never seen one before.
Right.
First time I've come across one.
If I can-
I'm familiar with it. Not seen one in person.
It's probably more of an item for the building control to make
Yes,
sure the construction engineers have got it right.
So in the roof?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it goes in the roof and it essentially goes all the way to the centre of the house.
So that's really, that's what the building control to make sure we've got that right.
I've never been quite sure they keep the water out, but maybe it's okay.
Yeah, sorry, right, there's existing and those
I've never met a sun site before. A rear roof, right, so it moves, yes.
Right, I think actually,
They've got a chimney removal, is that where the sun pipes go?
That would make sense.
Yes, well,
this house here actually.
probably.
Sorry, I knew that the house to the left was
I think
lower.
so, it'd be quite useful.
So which
The
one
one
is
with
it?
the hand on the right. Or
It's
the
the
left?
one with the hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
One with the hand.
I mean, they've got plenty of parking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
parking
The
sign.
sun pipe is here and then in a
Yes.
cupboard downstairs, where it's clearly adding a lot of natural light.
Yeah. I don't get it.
No, you have to go into a cupboard.
No.
That's weird.
Usually it's in one's living room or something, but one wants the light rather than...
Well, maybe the light's more for the upstairs.
Yeah, it could well be. It may well be that it's directing light into something that projects it. I've seen ones before that had like a mirror system that directed light around the house, but
It might be fiery.
Yes, I was going to say, I think that would seriously worry me, if it's a mirror system with a
Maybe that's why they're getting rid of
shoveling
chimney.
down the light.
So that
They
saves
have-
the
have
lighting.
heat from
Yes.
tube.
I fear that I may not have used the technical term to describe it. There's probably a
I
problem.
mean, it looks okay to me.
Yeah.
That's,
Doesn't particularly
structurally, that's
intrusive,
down
does
to the build, I don't suppose the build control, that's down to them, isn't it, it's structurally, right? I mean, presumably, it just means you've got a hole going through the, through the roof, basically.
Yeah. So it's all about how well it's sealed in.
Yes,
How you keep the water out,
Yeah.
possibly with through mesh.
Yeah, fine.
yes, are we right? Yes, thank you. Okay, that's, right, if we then move on to the additional,
Yeah.
well, then I'll come back to the trees. If we then move on to the applications, tables, added to the agenda, but, so we're now moving on to
5 Lyndhurst Close.
2019 3130 5 Lyndhurst Close. Which looks okay. I think most of the houses, I think there's, a lot of the houses in Lyndhurst Close have all been extended.
Yes.
This is very much in line with it, and it's only single storey, so I think the single storey.
No, it's not 2 stories, part single.
Oh, part
Well, part
single.
two story,
Yes.
actually. Part 2 story, yeah.
That was a famous kids.
Oh yeah, I'm reading the wrong bit. Sorry, I'm reading down
Yeah.
part two story.
Yeah, part 2 story
Yes.
rear extension.
I've moved down. Yes, I've moved down too far. I think that's right. It's in line with what extensions there.
It's fine with my view.
Yeah.
Fine.
Could I just ask about,
Yes,
just about the issue about the parking provision? There's no current parking provision, is that because they park on the street?
Yeah,
Yes, the whole-
no
And
parking.
there's
There's no
enough
parking.
room on the street because they're just expanding, aren't they? They are expanding the size of this property.
There,
There's lot conversion.
in a sense, yes, there is, but it's a little bit like Halfa Road where there is no parking provision whatsoever.
Okay.
But it's a relatively small close, so I
Mhm.
think in a sense they are self-contained.
Yes, they are. It's quite tucked away close.
Sure, no, that's fine. I just wanted to check that, you know,
I think they
just
should
to
be
see with
right.
other things we can,
Yes.
about parking that we've asked for, if it doesn't create additional problems, it's fine. Sorry, it doesn't matter.
2019 3133 22 Manland Way.
We didn't have any problems with it last time,
No, it was
and it appears
refused.
to be
SADC did.
Yes.
it appears to be pretty identical to what we were happy with last time, even if SADC had issues with it.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, the only change I can see is that there's the addition of this daylight report. So I think what the applicant is trying to do is prove that there will be no loss of amenity to the neighbouring property.
Should we look at it?
Did they not have an objection to this one as well?
Is,
Online?
is there?
Yes.
Maybe.
I mean, just before we get, while you're getting up, I mean, SADC have refused it for a whole host of reasons, including going against our neighbourhood plan. And we've obviously agreed it based on
Yeah.
neighbourhood plan. So,
It would be very inconsistent for us to
well,
say.
I'm just saying. I mean, we shouldn't just change these things just because of sort of awkwardness. But one of us must be wrong. I mean, I don't really mind which one it is, but it doesn't look good to me going forward.
No.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, I think, generally speaking, we take the view that that we would, unless we see something is radically changed in the application, that we would keep with our previous conclusion. It's
Specify what in the neighbourhood.
No.
because it does seem to be that they've got very much on the no, it's still there.
Sorry, I didn't know
It's
because you did the
okay,
other-
possibly another one that's...
I mean, it's interesting because sitting on the district planning committee, normally we feel that the planners are itching to put too big a thing on the plots, and
Yeah.
we're the ones reining them back.
Yeah.
So I almost feel as if they are concerned by it, then we should definitely have a look at it.
Yeah.
Because, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Let's look then.
Yeah.
Let's look. Bearing in mind, this doesn't differ, the drawings do not differ from what we looked at
Yes.
last time.
But it implies.
And I noticed that they say Harpenden neighbourhood plan, but they don't give any, but they don't refer to any policies.
We would feel from the reasons above that the chances are it's related to the loss of amenity.
I think it must be because that's why they
Yes,
announced
that's why they've done
put
the
this daylight.
Oh, the daylight. Yeah.
Is this the daylight report?
No, it's a daylight report, it's a...
Yes, because I mean, basically it's saying overbearing is going to cause a loss of light to the occupants of 2024.
I mean, when you look at it, it doesn't look huge, does it?
No.
See, this is quite a useful document actually, which does show the further images of the existing property as well. This is the daylight report map.
Have a look.
It's very interesting bedtime reading.
I'm sure it is.
Okay.
So when you say neighbouring properties,
I think that's.
does that mean...
Right, so here we go. So 0472, those are printed those off. Those are the applications and the drawings for the one that was refused.
What is called coming
And I
down?
can't see that there's any change.
That's existing, because
Right, okay, so I suppose, I mean, doesn't look. Is it maybe the it's coming out quite a long way, isn't it? I suppose if you're sitting there, you're all of a sudden looking at the side of
Yeah.
someone, whereas, well, I suppose you are a bit there then, but I guess it's more dominating.
yeah,
Higher, so that there's
yeah.
enough
Okay.
current and that.
Alright.
I suppose possibly your ground floor view might be similar, but your first floor view.
Go up the street. And Ladue. And Ladue Road.
I don't know whether there's a side window here.
Has anyone got drawing 1823/03-04?
1823/4A.
I guess it's quite close to the boundary, but I don't know whether that. Quite often when we look at big detached houses, they've got to have a meter either side, haven't they?
Yes.
But that's not. It doesn't look to be a meter, but then maybe I don't know. There's less space to play with, so it's less
Is this one on the
realistic.
end? Right, so it's actually this one that's just,
It's the one in.
yeah, it's the one next door one. And normally the one that's behind all the trees. and it's on here.
So the concern is.
That one's quite good to look at.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to show. But obviously this comes out further.
I think they're concerned about the impact on the house to the left, aren't they? Because probably by the look of it, it's on a hill. So
The
it's
issue
probably
is
the
the
reason
impact
why.
on, well, it seems to be the impact on the house on the right.
Is there a terracing effect as well? Because it's almost going to join them up, isn't it? As I said that.
Because hang on,
If
I thought
it's
the
not
shade-
really changed from the previous one, that we can't really introduce new things to what we've done before.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if we're not.
Oh, is there a new application?
Well, we are the
Must be
same.
new.
Well, we absolutely
Yeah,
say.
we are.
Yeah, that doesn't
I don't know.
look like
What, do you mean we're not the same people, but I suppose we're the same people?
different.
Well,
Back.
well, it would have been looked at by the same
Yeah,
group
by
as
the-
here. Yeah, I mean, there might be one or two people that weren't here or are here.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know, is that south facing? Let me
Because
have
if we
this
didn't, if we think consistent, if we didn't see anything wrong before, if we see something wrong now, it's
But I don't know, yeah, true. Having said that, were we able to look at SADC's refusal reasons before?
Well, no, because we'd have looked at it before it was refused.
Yeah, therefore I suppose you might say we have new information.
Did we have that information?
So I think the only difference from what I can
No.
see is that there is the data
daylight
report.
reports. So
That was part of the original,
That's
that's there, yeah.
I mean, if we can't come up with new reasons, there's probably not much point looking at it, is there? Because
No.
we didn't have a problem before. But
I
don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. But I mean, maybe it's
well, I don't
council.
actually, but that's nothing into that. We
No,
don't know anyone, doesn't necessarily.
Yeah.
Some you remember and some you
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Well, I think based on the date of it, I think it was looked at by
This
the
Yeah,
committee,
this
yeah.
My favourite sentence is that apparently sunlight is valued because it provides warmth and cheerfulness to a room.
I think that's, yeah.
Standard
Maybe like a
paragraph,
sun pipe.
which is every report, yeah.
Yes. Would anyone like some interesting reading about
No, we
daylight?
just like a précis for you, please.
Basically they say it's fine.
Right, thank you. That's not surprising, really.
No.
So they were more or less what they were.
They wouldn't have presented
They-
it otherwise,
they-
it's quite
they
a
wouldn't
shredded
have-
like.
They wouldn't have tabled it otherwise.
Their precise conclusions are that it satisfies the criteria and that there are no valid grounds to challenge the proposed development with regards to daylight.
Without, sorry, just to understand,
overbearing impact.
can I just ask about this? I haven't actually looked at this for quite a while. We're looking at, are we pretty confident that with the two, the Golf and the Sharan, that's the house?
That's it,
22?
yeah.
And we're concerned about light, is going to come further out, so we're concerned about light on the house on the right from here. Because I'm just looking at the house on the left, which
Yeah.
again, it may be a trick of the light, but is that not projecting about as far out as the
Yeah.
previous one? So there's a sort of,
That's at the front, and this is the rear, isn't it?
Yeah.
okay,
You pointed
so
out.
yes, sorry.
As
So,
you pointed
yes, so
out,
there's,
yeah.
but it's not exactly, what I'm saying is it's not exactly a sort of consistent character of the road, but that house
No.
No.
projects further out than that one, which projects further out than that
Yeah.
one, and then at the
It's
back.
not, no, it's not consistent at
No.
all.
Are you able to establish in what way it contravenes the Harpenden neighbourhood plan?
Yeah, because
As
I can't see that.
identified by
And they
the
haven't,
Organ.
and they haven't cited any policies.
So, but is there no details?
No, that that's there is an extraction from the refusal notice.
So there's no, it doesn't comply?
Number is it?
No, they haven't detailed which policies it doesn't comply with. That is literally, when that's put in there, that's copied and pasted from the refusal notice
Yes.
off the website.
Which is slightly strange, because we put in the policies it did comply with.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel as though we've either got to put express concern about the bulky nature, or just leave it as it is, no objection, I guess. We can't come up with new things.
No.
No.
We can always fall back on the old set out no objection subject to no loss of amendment.
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah.
sort of classic cover your
If
options.
you want to,
But I mean, we could say, because where we've said previously that it was in keeping with with the policies of the policies we've said it's in keeping with, that hasn't changed, it's still in keeping with those policies.
I can't see
how it could have a sunlight if it hasn't changed, how can we say that
We
it's
can't
now
change.
changed
Yes.
from
Yeah,
those
exactly.
policies?
Yes.
The only thing you could say is that the application of the neighbours of plan was in its infancy, if you like.
Well, I mean, that's almost saying that we didn't know how to read our own policies. Or
It
interpret
is
our own
rather,
policies, really.
Yeah, it is, but
But I'm looking at it the other way. To me, it seems like I think we've approved, and the time I've been on here, I can say we've approved a lot that are like this. We've
Yes.
had problems with parking, we've had problems with completely changing the character. We've generally been approving of somebody owning a property and improving it
Yes.
on their own sort of land. I was going to ask related to that do you feel that there's an inconsistency with SADC with the sorts of things that they allow? I know it's really everything's slightly different, but it seems to be quite a
Yeah,
unusual
I mean,
refusal.
sometimes when you see all this sort of wording where they say that, recommend refusal due to height, depth, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
they can, what seems to be like throw the book at it, when it actually can be something very, very small that the applicant will change, and then all of a sudden it's approved.
Yes.
It can just be nipped back by a tiny amount, or the angle of the roof is changed marginally, and all of a sudden it's approved when there's only something very minor has been changed. These sort of feel a little bit like standard words that the district just roll out as a reason to object to something.
And you can kind of see that in their refusal when they have that overbearing impact on and cause a loss of light, and you think that the game being played is they've got the light report to say, we're not going to shift the roof slightly because it works for us, but we'll say that light is an issue, and almost almost trying to give SADC a reason to say, you've listened to us a bit.
It's quite rare, I've seen, that the SADC, the planning officers, are that concerned about a loss of light. Normally the applicant is saying that there's going to be a loss of light, and the planning officers say it's fine. I'm quite surprised to see that in there.
But there's no letter of objection.
There is no rejection.
I think
What we said last time.
the same thing as we said last time.
I think it'd be an interesting one to follow.
Yes.
Because I'd be interested to see, since they've cited Harford and Neighbourhood Plan, but they don't cite any policies, which you sort of think, well, they just chuck that in.
And they haven't also made reference to which of the NPPS policies either.
No.
Covers an awful lot of things.
So they haven't covered that, so, yes. I mean, I would suggest that we keep with what we said before, because I can't see anything's changed, and the general principle is that in all intents and purposes, the same application, you can't introduce something new in. So are people okay with that? Yeah, thank you.
I mean, in a sense, the applicant has actually presented us with further documentation to prove that.
And it is a fascinating read.
I don't remember discussing that and getting it up on the screen and things personally, but I maybe
I can't remember this one at all, but it's not to say that.
But the St Albans District Local Plan elements are not to do with lighting.
No, but there isn't really a policy that covers
Lighting. So they refused it on other issues other than lighting.
They've refused it on elements that they feel are overbearing or too big, which is causing the loss of light.
Right, okay.
Detrimental impact.
So, okay.
5/20/19/3102 at 11 South Downs Road. The demolition of detached garage, and then construction of a replacement garage with a utility store, a part single, part two-storey rear extension, and a detached outbuilding. Now, the only thing is, when I forgot to look at this, I always wanted to make sure the detached outbuilding cannot some mysterious way become habitable.
Yes, quite, because it's got a health suite.
Yes, so one always wants to have a little close look at these, in case somebody is...
The loveliest sweet quaint cottages.
Yes,
Yes,
no, I know there's somebody's objected and it's also been called in.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Right next door, the glass house next to...
It's right down by...
It's here. This house here.
Okay.
borders the, our local laws, not our local laws,
The
sorry,
Quaker.
French
No,
Meeting
it's quite
House.
a French
French,
meeting
yeah.
house. Well, aren't those, well, surely it's listed.
Yeah.
Surprised that's not listed.
Right.
Then we discovered the other day the rough.
It's definitely conservation area.
It's conservation area.
Well,
Well, I didn't double check on this. I'm surprised it's not listed at those.
I will be able to tell you.
I mean, I think last time we did get one following meeting that was then the listing, wasn't it? It was like
Locally,
Yeah.
Yes.
locally listed.
It's locally listed.
Just locally,
I
yeah.
mean, so I can't believe it's not to some degree of the, yes, I'm a bit, can we pull this one up and look at it? Because I'm a bit,
How much of that is one house?
There's
No,
not four there, are there?
It's actually, so it, I believe that that is one house there.
it's three.
And then that there is the next house, and
yeah,
that there is
I
the
did,
next house.
yes, I mean, I have quite a few concerns about this because I think it's going to, I think it's pull out and look at the plans and pictures. It's potentially going to radically alter the appearance of what is, and I think this is what you've got to put it in context, not just the house on its own, but you've got to look at it at that whole listed terrace.
I completely
And
agree.
it's going to radically alter what is a very consistent, and actually one of the fairly iconic views in Harpenden next door to the meeting house. It's going to radically alter and I think one's got to look at it as one locally listed view.
So is there
Where is, and I'm fairly concerned about this
The health suite?
yes, the health suite, detached outbuilding, which on slightly, yes.
So is there no detached outbuilding there at the moment?
Could we get a look at it from above?
So that you're pointing to there is existing garage,
The garage.
Okay.
and
it
then
says
there's
proposed
the,
here, but yeah,
yeah, and then
there
there's,
is something there, yeah.
so there's something there, but then there's the outbuilding further up, Paul, there's a little square that's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are proposed, aren't they? What I
So
mean,
that
what's there?
outbuilding is proposed,
Yes.
and the garage is already existing.
It's already existing,
Yeah.
okay.
Because
that you don't see, do you?
Yeah, so
This
where is the garage?
health suite there.
No.
Could we look at it from...
From above,
Where
yeah.
is the garage?
Because I think
mean,
the garage is behind the house.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Certainly not in front
concerned
of
about
it,
this.
is
I
it?
think it's going to be a radical
Certainly.
alteration to what should be a conserved view. I mean, I would personally take the beautiful views.
The next door house has a right of access to their own back.
Okay.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
They're
Yes,
essentially
you should have to.
one frontage, so I think
Yes,
the back
that's what I'm
is
saying.
separate, so...
Yeah,
They'll have a right of access.
It's a consistent.
Putting out the ash.
If you look at it, if you
Yeah,
look at the
yeah, on
cottages,
yeah.
whatever date they are, I can't remember.
Yeah.
They're pre-rapid.
Not the best, I must admit, but this is the Quaker Meeting House here,
Yeah.
and then this is the existing garage, and then the outbuilding comes up here.
And what is it that you're worried about with it?
Well, I'm just, if it's all at back, I just wanted to make sure that there is no alteration to, and I haven't got plans for me. It's really at the front of it, just to make
Yeah,
sure
can
that
you
we're not
see?
going to alter the line and the line of which is, I think it has to be, that line of cottages has to be looked as one row really, to get a consistent, locally listed view.
So I think actually, from the frontage, there's no change.
There's no change.
No change.
That's,
So that is, so this is the existing
Yeah.
here, and this is the proposed. And then we've got this addition at the side. Look here actually.
so there's going to be at the side.
So because to look at the front, there's literally just sort of the thing
The two things,
around.
yes.
And then building on the back of the back,
Way, a little lane or
to
something.
square off the rest of the house.
Just in the corner. Just
So in terms of the front of the
Probably
little
okay.
house,
They're not changing the frontage.
No.
That's
So
okay.
they're demolishing the existing garage and moving that further back and adding a utility store.
So they
Yeah,
own,
so in front of their back
so they
garden.
own the bulk
Yeah, so
of
they
the
can
land
use the
behind
back garden.
cottages.
It's probably, used to put the ash out and things like that. So if you
Yeah.
So I mean,
Just
they'll
thinking
own
things through your
that
house, yeah.
section that's
Yeah.
all of theirs.
The health suite
So
describes
they're-
an entertainment
Yes, which is, so where's their boundaries here?
What do you mean? So this is all one cottage here?
Yes, that's all one cottage, so that's all
So the
that.
boundary goes
So
round?
that's all that.
I
So they've
think-
got quite a large bit of land
So,
at the
yeah,
back.
so I think, because, I'm fairly sure that is that not the boundary to their property there?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's quite a large garden
Yes.
that they.
It is, I was just saying, so
Trees
they've
there.
got, they're like the Friends Meeting House, they've got a lot of land at the back.
Doesn't look,
It looks like there's been a lot of add-ons at the back.
Yeah.
that doesn't look
That's
big enough for that whole thing to be the garden.
Let me do things.
No, it looks to me like that area with a hedge is 2 gardens.
Well, that's what I'm trying to
Let me
work out.
see the thing, because that one wasn't the most clear, I must admit.
I'm saying you paid a lot of money to upgrade their homepage since I last looked.
Behave.
Although, on looking at this, they've got quite a lot of land at the back.
Yeah, but that's
look
quite
at-
zoomed in.
that area, that looks
But
like...
that's what I
See-
want, that's what I can't work out.
That there doesn't look to me
No.
to be enough building for it to have covered everything that's behind the hedge.
Yeah.
The quality of it is just not that good.
If they do theirs by drone,
Must do.
Oh, bother.
You were there, nearly there then.
Sorry, I've carried away. Right, so this is the Friends Meeting House
There, yes.
and then this is the said property.
Yeah.
oh, actually,
So I
that
think
big
it does,
tree, isn't it?
that,
Well,
I think
big
it does
tree.
actually.
I think that is their boundary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just maybe smaller
They do
in
have
real life
quite
than
a lot of land at the back.
Yeah. It
But
just
it doesn't
doesn't
look
from
at
the
from
other
that,
side.
Look at it from there.
Either that or it's a big outbuilding.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's the scale, because it looks to me as though there's one big tree where this would be,
Yeah.
isn't it? I don't know whether that would,
Well, it does say tree and hedge removal with replacement planning proposed, so I presume that's the tree that's going to get tackled.
will it have a TPO, do you think, that tree?
No.
Not automatically a TPO because it's in a conservation area?
It doesn't look big enough.
No, I
No.
mean, it would depend upon the quality and species of the tree.
Yeah.
There is a tree report. Sorry.
What I'd question is how close it's going to be to whatever number that is on Ardens Road.
Well, they've complained, I think.
Yeah.
They're complaining.
Because it's right by the back fence, isn't it? The proposed site, number 16. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, what is this health suite?
Well, it does an entertainment room down there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the
Well,
Quakers
it's
will
not
be too happy.
entirely clear what this
What it is?
outbuilding is.
To be honest, it's probably whoever is the owner of all that, whatever this, either runs some sort of kind of fitness sessions from home or
Well, that's the
yoga or...
It looks like it's going to be nearly as big as the house.
Is that business use then?
Well, no, because you'd get just licensing.
just like
Yeah.
It's almost as big as the house.
Yes,
That's
it is,
the
you're right.
scale.
Yes.
It's huge.
It is, it's very big.
It's not
like-
much, is it?
No.
I mean, I don't think it should be there,
no.
but I'm just not sure. I'm just trying to work out the grounds.
But I'm not sure what the base test, because I'm not, I
was
think
in
one of
favour
the
it,
points
but,
is whether it's, whatever it's being
It's a
put
bit
forward
interesting.
as, whether in fact it's going to be habitable room.
What is the nature of the objection, which I presume is from number 16 Arden Grove?
I think it's open.
I presume it's how close it is and the size.
I mean, I guess you would be worried about noise, whatever your objection is.
Well,
You'd be worried about noise.
Entertainment suite being put in
Yeah,
the
but
Well,
backyard.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, yes, because I mean, either if they're going to do a tent suite, be concerned about a possible effect on neighbours, and alternatively, one would be concerned whether it's at some point going to look to use it as, bedrooms or whatever it is.
I mean, here it's got a shower, toilet, sink, which I know you would have if you had a gym, and it's also then got like a kitchen sink as well.
Yeah, quite.
You can almost turn it into a mini
Well,
apartment.
you
It's
could,
almost,
couldn't you?
yes,
For a granny flat.
yes, it could be.
I mean, it is like a little building, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is a building, effectively, in a green area.
Yes.
close to the property, right, slap bang in a big, nice tree.
I think the problem is the garage utility that's proposed one, that's just the house one.
Yes, yes.
The house.
Garage utility looks fine.
We've been puzzling over that, yes,
It's
it looks so,
Yeah.
yes.
I can see why Arden Grove might object, because it's got this right at the bottom of the...
What's the thing, lots of amenity, nothing?
It's not two-storey.
It's not two-storey, is it?
It's one story.
Well,
But I suppose, is there enough space in the eaves that
So
eventually?
it's more sort of a pitched roof, though.
And it's got roof lights, so...
Is there inherently anything wrong with building something like this in the back garden?
Too close to the boundary, yeah.
Not if it doesn't break any actual planning rules. I mean, things of what it's going to be. Because we can't in planning terms, we can't second guess
No.
what we're going to do with it in future.
I think you could say that it's not in keeping with the
You could-
conservation
Yes,
area.
you could
I think.
possibly,
A new build,
yeah.
large
Yeah.
building.
Which is their point one.
Yeah.
yes.
They've got the same concerns
Yes.
as us. Point one is not in keeping. Point
With
two,
the
too
conservation
close to
area.
us.
Yes.
In addition, they sort of repeat the thing, but make it specific to
Yeah.
them. That's 2 and 3 are really the same thing.
Yes.
Overdevelopment and conservation area go back to the same point in the context of the footprint of existing.
Yeah.
And it is the footprint of existing, isn't it?
Yes.
What's interesting is number 17 has put the objection in for number 16. It's number 16 that's most affected if you look at the plan. They're the ones who
Yeah.
back onto it, but yet it's an objection from number 17.
Depends, could be someone who's a bit too,
It's
Well,
it's
yeah,
not like
they
somebody
could
who's
be,
very
yeah,
old
they could be
and
doing it on
they
behalf
all-
of somebody that-
I mean, we could
people
possibly,
don't like to
yes.
cause.
I mean, we could
No.
possibly say that although the work, the actual cottage, which is at the back, is probably okay. But I mean, I would be sort of recommending refusal of the outbuilding bit of it as being overdevelopment, out of keeping with the conservation area, and potential loss of amenity to neighbours.
Basically, that's
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the letter's fair enough, I understand it.
Between headroom
And between head removal.
They're also extending the house.
Yes,
I
but I think, but
haven't
I think at the back, I
Yeah.
don't think it's,
Mm.
I think because the extension of the actual house is at the back,
Yeah, no,
I don't think that's a particular problem. I think it's this structure.
Yeah, I think you don't trust the nature of the structure, but that is also at the back of the house.
Yes,
I
but
think they
it's,
would, I mean, I take your point, but it is at the back of the
it
house.
is at the back of the house, but yes, I know, it's, yes, I suppose I see your point, but
I think it's the addition
That's
of
the
the...
building, I suppose,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Because it is, right at the back of the house, it is
a separate structure.
separate structure.
Have you all got one with dimensions on it, how big the thing is?
No.
But it is, you'd hope that it's an architect's drawing at least scale.
It'd be to scale, but probably not on an A3 drawing. No, if it's A1. I can't scale it, because unfortunately I can't print off A1.
I think this one's got measurements on it, I can't believe what I'm saying.
Is there anything to stop somebody selling something like that, like the bottom of their garden?
Well,
Mm.
yes. Well, that's why I was thinking, what is it?
Mm.
Yes.
I mean, you could, couldn't you?
Yeah, well, yes. I mean, it's always this tricky thing because you can only look at what you've got in front of you, but there's always concern when what is being created is basically habitable of what, or whether somebody would then later on try and split the garden and sell it off as a separate. Which is where the bit about possibly doing a separate structure, you could argue, is an overdevelopment within a conservation
Yeah.
area.
I think that's the point. It's a new building.
It's effectively a separate
It's not a
building.
shed, is it? It's
No,
a new building.
it's a separate building.
So
Yeah.
it's as big as the thing they want to add
I
to
mean,
the
to call
house.
it an outbuilding is,
Disingenuous.
yes, because it's a building.
I mean, it's close to the station, it's right in the centre of
Yeah.
town. It
Yeah.
would be very,
It's a one-bedroom flat, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, studio.
Well, you can put a couple of rules in.
So can we say something along the lines of that no objection to the proposed alteration, whatever you want to say, construction,
Yeah.
to the to the cottage
Yeah,
And the garage.
and the
proposed
garage
extension,
extension,
yeah.
but would recommend refusal for the
Health
For the health suite,
the health
proposed
suite,
health suite,
proposed
yeah,
health suite as being an overdevelopment
of the plot.
of the plot
Plot,
and out of keeping with the conservation area.
Yeah.
Must be in keeping with the location, impact on neighbouring properties.
Impact on neighbouring properties.
Yeah. I think you probably see it from Arden Grove as well. I don't know if that's a... Yeah.
It's one story.
It's one
Yeah, but it's
story.
got quite a
Yeah.
hefty pitch. It's got quite a hefty roof on it.
I think yes, I mean I think the main issue is
Heavy pitch.
they want to use it as an entertainment suite, whatever it is. Yes, plus whatever an entertainment suite is. I mean, they're going to run a discotheque in it.
I imagine it's like a gym that they're going to put in there. But
Yeah.
But, I mean, I know people who built single-storey rooms in the garden.
Yes, people do have these things.
Yeah, you get like
rooms,
teenagers
don't they?
down.
Yeah.
But it is very close to the ones at the back, isn't it?
Yes, and it is quite big relative to the size of the property.
Yeah.
So are people happy if we go down that route?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Paul?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'm happy to
Yes.
talk about that with the development.
I thought you were- yes, sorry.
Next point. No, I agree.
Feel free to add anything, yes. We'll see where we go with that, because...
It'd be an interesting one to follow.
But I'm always very uncomfortable when you get very large. Standalone. Yes.
But it's been called in anyway, so
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
we'll be looking at it again.
yes.
Quite
Okay, so then the next three, 5, 2019, 3117, 2019, 3124, and 3162, none of them meet criteria for consideration by the committee unless anybody has anything they wish to raise.
No.
No? Okay, thank you. Right, then if we revert back to the first pack, we've then got just for noting, on both we've got for noting the weekly lists of decisions. So that's really just for noting. And I see they've finally got permission for those cottages up at Kingston Green.
Which ones?
They've been trying for that for years. There we go. So we'll then move on to pre-work applications. Unless anybody wishes to raise anything that's just for noting, and Council Linda has already drawn attention to her declaration of interest. Has anybody seen anything on the pre-work they wish to raise?
No.
Really, they're just for noting.
No.
I think... In fact, my turn for it.
Sorry, actually, I do want to mention something. This is going to, again, help me. In the one below Nicholas, there's this one in Batchwood Ward, where it's St Albans. It just says, remove a large yew tree at the rear of the property. Now, that seems to be quite a substantial tree. I mean, sorry, I just want to understand what's the process, and what are we doing with this? Could we at any stage say, hold on a minute, tell me that you've checked that you should be able to do this, or are we just simply...
No, we really only look at the ones that are half.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. No, basically, we get, because they don't split them out.
We don't split them out?
No,
Okay.
but basically we'd only...
But if that said remove a large yew tree in the rear of the property and it was in the middle of Harpenden,
We would...
would we have something to say about it, or would
We
you note it?
could,
We
yeah.
could,
I mean,
yes.
if we wanted
If we
to.
were minded to, and we felt it was something that, we wanted.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Is like,
Yes, yes. Oh,
there
yes.
may be a story that's diseased, or there's some
Yes.
proper reason.
Okay,
for it.
but yes,
It
it's
doesn't mention anything, does it?
No,
No.
Everything else
No,
mentions
we
it.
could, if that was in somewhere in Harpenden, we could certainly raise it.
Okay.
Because there are drawings and applications online for it.
So like we've done with some of these tonight, if this had been a Harpenden one and I
Yes.
wanted to say, or anyone wanted to say,
Yes, we could
let's
just
look
put
at what's
it up
going
and
on
have a
here,
look.
you could get it up and
Yes,
explain.
and we
Okay.
can have a look, and
That's all right.
absolutely, just always feel free to raise it.
There aren't with as much detail as these, but there's a full
Yes, there's
application.
somewhere.
If you have something as bold as that, and there's nothing to tell you whether it's perfectly hokey-cokey,
Yeah.
and also, we want to look at, I suppose, well, technically, look if they're taking something down, don't you, that they're replacing it. Yeah?
Yes,
Yes.
potentially, yeah.
Actually.
Okay, no, thanks, because
See, sometimes tree works are a bit like, tree works are repurposing for. We want to remove the trees, but we aren't doing it because we want them to build anything. We're doing it because it's disease dying or,
And it needs,
needs to be removed. And due to the location of where it is, we have to seek permission. Or if it's a large number of trees, if it's a collection of trees as well, then that also warrants the input from the tree and the officers. Yes, no, absolutely. We have, or if we've got trees that are on the boundary of the common, and we'd be interested to see, what impact will that have potentially on.
okay, no, that's good. Because I must admit, I have to confess today, I've been generally going, okay, that's just fine, I've noted them. And as that just struck me between the eyes, I just thought, okay, there is an opportunity, there may be a time when we might have to say, tell me more about this. Okay.
Yes, I think if we had one that said, just cut a tree down.
Cut an oak tree down or
Yes,
something,
and nothing else, I think we would very properly want a little more detail.
Yeah, well, thank you.
If the district wants to cut trees down, who do they have to get permission
Same
from?
We have to put it through.
They have to go through.
Is that another conflict of interest?
Well,
No,
Luton
it's
Council can grant permission for Luton Airport.
Well, this is true, but trees are a slightly easier thing to get through without people...
But then sometimes it depends upon sort of the nature of it, and for transparency, it might go to referral,
Yes.
where it then gets looked at by people who are not connected at all to
Yes, so, yes.
the environment or whatever.
As I say,
Okay,
okay, thank you very much. Let's call the meeting, and our next meeting is the 28th of January. And I'll declare the meeting closed at 8:32.